Hi, welcome to my video. This video is hopefully going to show you how to change the thermostat on a 2009 Mini Cooper S 1.6 turbo. Problem I had with this car, it was losing water, dripping, and it was coming from what appeared to be around the thermostat housing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to basically get access to the thermostat housing first of all. The thermostat housing that we want to get access to is down under here in this area. Okay, so that's where we need to get access to. This is the air filter box. This is the air intake pipe. So that's the air intake here. It goes through the pipe, up into the airbox, through the airbox and back around and down to the turbo. So the first thing you need to do is take these three pipes out. The first bit that you will do is down here on this corner is a splined single bolt. So we're going to undo that splined single bolt, and then the air filter assembly pulls up. It sits at the back here on a couple of these spigots down here in a couple of the rubber mounts here, so don't worry about that first of all. So we'll just take that one bolt out, and then this is loose. So you need to take the turbo pipe off. So there's a Jubilee clip on this end and there's a Jubilee clip on the turbo end, and then this pipe here can just pretty much lift up and kind of sort of stay there, sort of back out the way. This one here, this intermediate pipe, it sort of tucks under this wiring loom and goes underneath there. Now if you look on the end of it, they are like you know, the little, do you see there, the little triangular nodules, and they sit down. I don't think you'll be able to see it in here, but they just sort of clip into the back of this. Now the easiest way that I found is just to slide a little flat blade screwdriver and just tease them out the bottom of it, and then you can work that pipe out. So I'm just going to stick these pipes on the ground, the air filter. So obviously got the air filter box out, and the intermediate pipe might be a good chance to check your air filter while it's out, and so then that's really what we're left with. So the next thing, there are some pipes, obviously with loads of pipes and plugs to undo. The first one, which I've tucked right back here, is this one on the top. This looks like a vacuum pipe of some sort, so just depress the two tangs on the end of it. If you can see there are two tangs. You just squeeze them and then off that pops. Take it out of the way and tuck it out of the way. Be careful, these plastic pipes can bend and fracture. Then we need to get rid of, or to move this wiring loom out of the way. So in order to move this wiring loom out of the way, there are a few plugs. So there's the first plug here is on the top. Not sure what sensor it is, but that's not really important. And to get these off, you need to lift this tang up. Can you see that, how it's just moving up? Yeah, with my fingernail. As you can see on the top, there's just like a little they're like little ridges, so you need to lift it up, not push it down or whatever, and that would just slide over and click. So get something underneath, like a pick or a flat blade screwdriver, and just gently ease it up. I use a pick to do these kinds of things. There are two more sensors down here. There's one into the side of the block, and there is one that goes down to a sensor that's actually on top of the thermostat unit. We'll take this sensor out when we change the thermostat. Well, I don't know if that sensor comes with it, but there's like a green tang, and you pull that out and the sensor can be changed over into the new thermostat housing if it doesn't come with a new one. So there's these two connections here. Mark them up, because as you will see, the plugs are basically the same, and you can get them interchangeable, interchange and get them in the wrong way, so you need to mark them up. You know, I've just put or had a little bit of yellow paint on one of them. I know that's the forward one there. Okay, so you've undone them two, and then this thing here, there's a clip there. See this U-shaped clip, U-shaped black plastic clip, and it was just here, pushed down there, so you need to just pull that up to allow it to move out the way. Then what we've got is we're now down to trying to lift this main wire and loom assembly up and out the way, and it sits at the back. You can see this metal tang here. there, it just, there's a corresponding thing, it just sits, so it's kind of like sort of down like that, and then you just lift it up, and then that allows this thing to move out the way. But before I could get that, running across it tightly are two vacuum pipes that go to the turbo. So one of them goes to this little spigot and the turbo just under there, little brass spigot, and the other one goes onto this point down there, which is on the diaphragm actuator. So just undo them and then tuck that out the way as well, and get that round the back of the box. So once this is kind of out the way, he says, there's the thermostat housing here. Now this thermostat housing is already out, okay, so I've already taken it out, undone it. So what there are, oh, let's pull out how you want to get out of the way. There are a multitude of pipes on this, so I will tell you. So before we need to take that out, again, there's another sensor here on the bottom. That's a little bit more difficult because you look at the tangs, they're on the lower side of it, so when that is, oh, that's better, when that is kind of sat, you know, on the edge of the block, the tangs are on the bottom, so it's a little bit, you know, it wasn't that hard to get off, but a little bit trickier. The thermostat housing itself has got 3 bolts, you can see. So when it's on, there's one on the top, there's one on the back side, and there's one down there. They are 10mm bolts, and they are non-captive. So in other words, when you take them out, they can fall down. Now you can see, obviously, there's a horrendous amount of pipes on this. So these 3 on this side, this one, and this one, these are just normal water pipes with the sprung type clips on, which are this type of affair. I'm sure you've seen that before. Okay, so you just need to get a pair of pliers on them and remove them. So that's those 3. On the opposite side, there are 2. There's one here and one here, and actually look at that, how it was all snapped. That's not where mine was leaking from. I'll discuss that in a minute. But then round the back, you can see this one is one of these types here that has an O-ring on it, and that goes around, I don't know if you can just see it down here, down the back of the block, down where my finger is, and there's where my finger is just going around the pipe. That's one of the type, I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but basically what you have is you have like a circlip like this that goes down and clicks down, so you need to pull that circlip up, get a screwdriver under it and pull it up, take it, put it to one side, don't lose it. The new one should come with a new O-ring, and then when you put this back in, that will go down under there and slide into the pipe. Okay, so that's basically how you get it out. You just then take the pipes and tuck them all out the way. So these are there's 2 big water pipes that sort of come down from this way. There's a small intermediate one that comes off the bottom. This pipe, water pipe, that obviously goes off to cool the turbo. So that's this one down here, and then obviously there's this one and the other one down there, however many was 5 or whatever. So why did I change this? Well, basically my car, like I said, was losing water. So when it was on the car originally, whenever the car got warm, never did it when it was cool, so short journeys it didn't do it, but whenever it got warm, in other words the thermostat was opening, the car started to leak water and lose water. And actually where it was coming from, I don't know if yours will be the same, can you see the white staining along here? And it was right down, to give you some sort of idea, so there's the shape of it. It was right down in this area, you can't even see it at the moment, but along here there was a little pinprick, and similar sort of scenario to when if you have a inner tube on a bicycle that's leaking, and you stick it in a bucket of water, and you can see the air bubbles and the water sort of, you know, sort of fizzing out that little hole. That's exactly the same as what this was doing. Just as soon as the thermostat opened and the water was flowing around the main sort of pipe here, it was just sort of, you know, fizzling away out there, and, you know, working its way down the back of the block and drip, etc. on the floor. Like I said, this is the sensor, so I don't know, that's obviously a water temperature sensor or something, and I don't know if that comes with a new one, so I'll leave it in there for now, but hopefully the new thermostat will come with it. There is a bleed nipple on here, okay, so this is just a threaded screw, so when I've if you've never seen this before, one of these, this will be a bleed nipple, so when I come to bleed the whole system, I'll need to obviously bleed the new one. So when you come to do that, I don't know if there's a bleed anywhere else on top of the radiator or whatnot, or the back of any of the pipes in here. I don't think there is, but that obviously is something that's going to have to be. Alright, okay, I hope that helps. I don't know how much these are. I looked on eBay roughly before, sort of 50-60 quid, but I'll be honest with you, if you look at some of my other videos, I've done this on BMW 530D, obviously loads of thermostats, and my general advice was something like this, that's a moving part, that's got, you know, quite a critical piece in. Is it worth, you know, 80 quid, you know, to go and buy a genuine BMW one? To be fair, it took to get that out 35 minutes, 40 minutes total, you know, and I didn't know what I was doing, you know, just going by my sort of you know, my own sort of working out as I went along. So, you know, do you pay 50 quid and take the chance? I don't know, it's up to you. I'll probably see how much a genuine one is. I think it's 150 quid, and then probably make a decision and say no, because if you watch my other videos, you'll know I hate this car. But here we go. It's only done about 50,000 miles. Yeah, it's about 9 years old, but there you go. All right, cheers. I'm rambling. Thanks for watching, and subscribe. Cheers.